What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is LaBelle, and welcome to my first formation guide of the year. We're looking at the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. One of the most commonly used formations. If you want to see my top 5 formations that you should look to master in FIFA 19, especially considering that you're able to swap formations on the fly with dynamic tactics this year, I'm going to leave links to that down below in the description. And also, when we're going into more details regarding tactics and instructions, Ovi is going to take care of that part of this video. I'm going to link that down below. He makes a bunch of YouTube tutorials, tips, and of course we team up, we collaborate when we're putting together these formation guides. So you get all the information. You with me? If you want more, and I really hope that you do because so many of you ask me about formations, drop a thumbs up. It's the easiest way to let us know we need to put out more of these videos. And in the comments, what formations do you want to hear us talk about in terms of not just how to set up the formation, and what's good and what's bad when we're looking more in detail into pros and cons, but also those tactics, just key tidbits of information that you're going to need to know when you're setting up your squad in order to maximize its potential. But without further ado, let's talk about the 4-1-2-1-2. When we're looking at the 4-1-2-1-2, it's a classic formation that we've seen used in every single installment. And considering the last couple FIFA installments weren't very cross-heavy, I didn't say they weren't wing play heavy, but they weren't cross-heavy. The 4-1-2-1-2 was even more popular than usual because it was all about intricate passes and mastering the vision of finding the right triangles or through balls and having that mix between the correct balance building up, and then also the counter attack. And the first pro that I want to talk about with the 4-1-2-1-2 is those quick attacking options. If you're a player that's looking to counter, you want the pass through ball approach, this formation has got to be one of the best. Whether you're trying to deliver a ball out wide and having one of your strikers run onto that, or you're looking for maybe even a striker to striker through ball, or just trying to work that center attacking mid and they had overlapping runs. And especially in FIFA 19, I feel that the center mids in this formation do a good job of making those overlapping runs. So if you were having any offensive issues, if you're able to hold up the play just a tad bit, you will get help. They will naturally make those runs because players are really pushing into the box unless you have it on drop back, no players in the box, we don't want to attack. If those aren't your settings, then count on players getting forward and looking to be very offensive, being aggressive. This formation also excels in overwhelming your opposition, especially if you have a really dope team, for lack of a better superlative. So if you have a squad full of icons and guys that are just really high rated, you can rush your opponent because you're going to win so many of those 50-50 battles because you're just trying to make your opponent beat you. You're challenging him. And anytime that you have a team like that, I'm talking about a few million coin squad at least, then you want to make sure that you're maximizing that squad. Take advantage of what kind of team you have built, that you have constructed, and attack, and be decisive and be aggressive on the defensive end. You want to try to rush your opposition, and I feel that the 4-1-2-1-2 over the years, including FIFA 19, does an excellent job of creating that type of pressure. And just to reiterate, especially when you have the team that matches everything that you're trying to recreate and just your game plan. The last pro that I want to discuss is going to be on the defensive end. If you're struggling to stop your opposition from attacking through the middle, the 4-1-2-1-2 does a superb job of being able to cut off a lot of those passing angles. It's difficult to beat the 4-1-2-1-2 down the middle of the pitch. Now, let's talk about the cons. It starts with your lack of width and more importantly on the defensive end. So once you've overtaken possession, you've got the ball, it's with your defenders. How do you get it out of there? Because in FIFA 19 in particular, players just swarm you immediately after losing possession. All those offensive players turn into aggressive defenders. It seems to be a very common tactic that we're going up against in this year's installment. And in the 4-1-2-1-2, you can easily get overwhelmed or make a mistake. Tiki-taka this year doesn't seem to be quite as effective as we've seen in some of the past FIFA installments. I just feel like there's a little bit of delay, and the passing is also not as accurate, which I think is actually a good thing. Not having perfect, pristine passing where every intricate touch or pass is perfection. Doesn't matter who's making that pass or which way they're facing. But at the same time, it does play into being a negative when you're trying to get the ball out of the back four and get it forward. Sometimes you're going to have to take a little more of a direct approach and lob it forward to one of your strikers or try to hit the center attacking midfielder. But it is more difficult in this formation compared to maybe a more wider based formation, something with a little more additional width. And the other con that I kind of want to open up the discussion boards regarding is going to play off of having trouble getting the ball out of the back, but then this formation also being a bit one-dimensional. In FIFA 19, crossing is definitely a thing. Wing play and people scoring crosses is something that you're going to see on repeat. And in the 4-1-2-1-2, you're not going to maximize anything with wing play or whipping and crosses. It's not impossible. It's not that you can't score goals, but you're not going to create opportunity on opportunity on opportunity down the wings because it's not set out to do that. The way your players are positioned, you got a bunch of center mids. You don't have wingers. Your best opportunity to whip in a cross is potentially from one of the strikers, maybe a through ball out wide, and they whip that in for the other striker or another midfielder that's starting to leak into the box. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed the content and you want more of these videos, please drop a thumbs up. Head on over to Ovi's channel. All the links are down below. He'll give you the tactics. He'll give you the instructions. My guy's got the scoop, and I have a lot more content coming for you ASAP.